show of hands, who wants to know what's on a test before it even comes out? Everybody does, right? Well, I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to show you what's going to be on a test if you happen to have a degree or you're pursuing a bachelor's degree. Because from what I've researched on okstate.edu and uco.edu, that not all degree plans, but most of them you have to have at least 4 to 8 credit hours of some sort of science or life science especially. So pay attention if you're thinking about taking biology, microbiology, or even human physiology. I'm going to preview these main points. It's a 3-step cycle for cellular respiration, and basically what it does is it creates ATP, which is the only enzyme that creates energy for your body. You can't use anything else except for ATP. So, according to Biology, a Guide to the Natural World, 5th edition by David Crow, published in 2011, glycolysis is the first step of cellular respiration. And again, in the same book, Biology, a Guide to the Natural World, the Krebs cycle will be the second one. And again, according to Crow, electron transport chain is the last step of cellular respiration. So I'm going to jump right into glycolysis. Okay, basically what it is you get a glucose molecule, and the glucose is a monosaccharide, which is basically a carbohydrate. Okay, so how you get this molecule is from your diet. Say you eat cereal or you eat spaghetti or anything whatnot. This is where you get this glucose molecule. And there's pretty much 2 phases to this. Okay, so you have your energy investment phase, and let me back up for a second. According to Microbiology, a Systems Approach, 3rd edition, published in 2012, glycolysis is the most common route for you to break down your glucose molecules. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to start up here, and it's going to be a 3 series. Okay, you're going to have to invest ATP first. You're like, man, you're trying to make ATP, you're not trying to use it. Well, it's kind of like you got to have money to make money. So you're going to go through this first, and then you're going to move up to your payoff phase. According to Microbiology Systems Approach, you're going to end with pyruvate. Pyruvate is very, how do I say this? It's very important because it's to be able to move on to the next step. But you also see NADH, and you also see that you've made 4-ATP. Okay, NADH, we'll get to that later. It's very, very, very important. So you're going to have that pyruvate, and you're going to move to the Krebs cycle. Okay, that pyruvic acid is the exact same thing as pyruvate, just another name for it. And according to the book Biochemistry, 5th edition by Jerry Berg, 2002, the Krebs cycle, which is what this is, it's also named the citric acid cycle, provides most of the energy in aerobic cells. Well, this is important because 95% of our body cells are aerobic cells. Basically means oxygen cells. So Crow goes on the right that you yield 2-ATP, which you see in that red little boom sign down there. And Cohen goes on to state that your NADH, which is the first one when you have coenzyme A, and you get 4 other ones, which is, this goes through twice because you made 2 pyruvates and glycolysis. And you also get an FADH2. And Cohen states that NADH and FADH2 are vital in energy production. And you're going to find this out because our next step, which is electron transport chain, you're going to be able to cash in on these NADH and FADH2. This is your electron transport chain. Basically, it's going to happen in your mitochondria. It's going to in your outer membrane. All right, this is where we're going to cash in. According to the book Anatomy and Physiology, Unity of Form and Function by Kenneth Saladin, published in 2012, the electron transport chain further oxidizes your NADH and your FADH2 and transfers their energy to ATP. So basically what you're going to get is you're going to have your NADH and FADH2, and they're going to come up here and they're going to oxidize, which means they're going to get their outer electron to 8. That's stable. Okay, and they're going to push off that final hydrogen bond, and it's going to run down this way. And that, when you push off that hydrogen bond, it's going to create this whole line of pump action to work. It's energy, basically, what you're doing. And you're going to come over here to your ATP synthase, and there's all these hydrogen bonds are going to get forced down this ATP synthase, and you have adenosine diphosphate and then phosphide here. Where it's hydrogen, it's going to make a hydrogen bond and connect those two together to make adenosine triphosphate, which is ATP, your body's form of energy. So, from another microbiology book, Foundations of Microbiology, 8th edition by Kathleen Tolero, published in 2011, NADH, remember I was telling you, is very important because NADH will actually make you 3 ATP per molecule of NADH. And your FADH will grant you 2 molecules of ATP. So, if we do the math, well, I'm going to take a step back. This whole process is basically how your cell gets energy so you can do muscle contractions or whatnot. So it's very important. But I'm going to go ahead and review for it in case you come up in this in biology class. You're going to find out, I'm going to preview, first thing I said was glycolysis. What you need to know, just mainly what you need to know, is that you're going to start with a glucose molecule and you're going to end with pyruvate. And that it nets 2 ATP and 2 NADH. Then you go to the Krebs cycle, what you need to know is you're going to get 2 ATP, 2 FAD, and 8 NADH. And an electron transport chain, what you need to know is that you're going to get 34 ATP. And finally, if they ask you cellular respiration, how many ATP do you get? You get 38 ATP from 1 glucose molecule. So, and that's pretty much what it boils down to. So whenever you go down and you take a biology class or you take a microbiology class, forget all that extra stuff because there's a lot more to it. I'm breaking down 3 lecture periods in about 7 minutes. So you'll be ahead of the game and you'll be like, all right, I know what he's talking about now. So hopefully you can do that.